Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So I am finally free now, my schedule's all cleared up and I can come back to making Life is Strange videos. A few things I just want to mention before I get into this video. One, I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading videos as much as I wanted to. But I'm free and clear now, so I'm going to be uploading videos regularly. Don't worry, getting tongue-tied, this video's off to a bad start. Next up, I want to give a shout out to two of my subs, Amber Ank and Dr. Daniel, who showed me these images of the new variant covers for Life is Strange issue 17, I believe it was now. I don't think I'm wrong, but because it's like 2.5 and all that, it's like, okay, I have to go back and do the math, just add 13, 14, 15 instead of going 2.1, 2.2, but yeah, it's these are two variant covers for issue 17. And speaking of Amber Ank, I'm going to apologize to her. I forgot to give her a shout out one of the last Life is Strange videos I made a while ago before I went AWOL. Sorry about that, Amber. But anyways, now that that's all out of the way, let's get into this video. Now, I don't need to explain to you all who loved the Life is Strange series how Rachael Amber dies. She ended up being drugged by Nathan, who wanted to impress Jefferson, but he ended up overdosing her as a result, and her body was buried in the junkyard by Jefferson and Nathan. Now, this video is about how I think she'll die in the comic series, so yes, alright, like, just in case you're all a bit confused, like, oh no, we already know how she died. No, this is about the comic. And I know a lot of you aren't interested in the comic series because of the way it's just gone and off the beaten track and it's just adding all these alternate dimensions, but as long as the comics continue, I'm going to keep continuing making Life is Strange theory videos and uploading the comics. Now, the reason I think she is going to die is because if you look at the book, Hamlet, you can see that Rachael is holding it and she is submerged in water. And who is a character in Hamlet that dies by drowning? Ophelia. Now, Ophelia is one of the central characters in William Shakespeare's book, Hamlet, or drama novel. I haven't really read it. I watched the show well, not the show, I watched the movie when I was in high school. During history class, I had to write a paper on it. Well, not a paper, just do homework on it. Like, it was so long ago, I can hardly remember. But basically, due to Hamlet's actions, she ends up going mad. She ends up going insane, and this ultimately kills her. It leads her to being drowned. And if you take a look at this next image, we can see here Ophelia has drowned. And you can see with this image and the image of Rachael, there are a lot of similarities between the two. They're both in water but not completely submerged. There's flowers around them. But this is an image I found online. I'm sure there are many other images, but I feel this one of Ophelia really helps me with this video, which is a good example between the cover art of Rachael and this image of Ophelia, so to show off the similarities. And it's not just that. If you take a look in this next image, you'll see Max, Chloe, and Rachael in a cave. We can also see Max's reflection in the water, which is Chloe, which is not really her reflection, but in a sense a reflection of the dust world, in the sense that they're both looking at each other without even realizing it, you know. Or maybe they can see each other, I'm not too sure. But anyways, this is, I do have a theory of how Rachael will die, and I've actually looked up into more detail on how Ophelia died. And from the book, in Act 4, Scene 7, the Queen, Gertrude, I think, not Gertrude, Gertrude says that Ophelia climbed into a willow tree, and that she ended up breaking it due to her weight, and so Ophelia fell into a river or a stream or or whatever it was, and that's how she drowned. Now, it makes sense here if we are to base Rachel's death off of Ophelia's, or if we're to say that's the inspiration for it. We can say that Rachel is exploring the cave by herself. She's trying to climb into a narrow gap or trying to move across a ledge. The rocks break, she ends up falling, and she hits her head and then falls in the water and drowns due to being unconsciousness. Or maybe she ends up dying and this is her face, like obviously she's not going to be smiling, but it could be like her eyes are open, like Ophelia's in that image I just showed you. So, with everything that this comic series has done at this point, it's not entirely impossible, but obviously Max is using her ability to rewind. She did that in the last issue when Tristan showed up and Max rewinded, but she didn't mean to. When she saw Tristan, she stopped, but the only reason she rewinded was because the High Seas band members crashed their van, and she wanted to go back and save them. It could also be a symbolic meaning, because water represents birth and rebirth, life and death. I'm not a spiritual person, but I know that water, there's tarot cards which involve water and rebirth, life, death. There's many other mystical things about it. I'm not too into that. If you are, that's fine. Okay, maybe you can give me a lesson on this if I'm doing a bad job. But I think what this could also mean, it could mean because water is life, rebirth, death, being reborn. The Rachel we see on the cover could actually be the Rachel from Max's original timeline, reborn. Now, if you go and play Life is Strange, the first one, and you find the director's commentary, I forget who it was, but this person confirms that Rachel is the doe, or in a sense, the doe is her reborn, and she is now this spirit that guides Max to her grave. And you actually see when Max and Chloe find Rachel's body, you see that the doe slowly fades away out of existence, because this is in a sense Rachel's spirit. It's had unfinished business. It led Max and Chloe to where it was, to where she was where the doe's past life, which is Rachel, was buried, and then the doe disappears. Now, that's actually what's confusing. I don't understand if the doe is Rachel Amber, or if it's her next life, or if the doe even has recollection of who it used to be when it was human, But essentially, the doe is some form of Rachel Amber that had unfinished business. So, and that actually can help with the next issue of Life is Strange. I'll read the synopsis again for you. Let me just bring it up here. The adventures of Max, Chloe, and Rachel from the hit game Life is Strange continue. Max, Chloe, and Rachel delve deep into the Carlsbad Caverns, where Max is forced to confront the consequences of her actions by the person she least expected. That's Carlsbad, yeah, that's definitely the word. So, in the screenshot of Max, Chloe, and Rachel in the cave, that's where they are. Well, caverns, I guess. What is caverns? That's just cave with many entrances and exits, right? I don't know. Never really been in a cave, to be honest. But this could actually make sense. If water and life is of rebirth and life, death, and we see Rachel in the water, and which is meant to represent Ophelia, we could say that this that the Rachael that died in Max's original timeline, she's reborn into this timeline. And that's who the person Max least expects to talk to her in issue 2.5 or 17 as we normal people say. This would make it kind of makes sense for it to be Rachael from Dust, but it also doesn't. But I'm just going back and forth, just coming up with theories. Anyways, before I end this video, just want to say real quick, the next issue of Life is Strange, issue 16, it's 16, right? Yeah, issue 16. Sorry, I was just counting in my head because, the 2 points. So 2.1 is 13, 2.2 is 14, 2.3 is 15, 2.4 is 16, and we were just talking about 2.5, which is 17. So, yeah, issue 16 will be out January 20th, and issue 17 is going to be out March 17th. So make sure you all write that down in your calendar. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks again, Emberank and Dr. Daniel, for showing me these images, and I'll see all of you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.